Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. We've got Johnny on location. He's having all sorts of problems with his Wi-Fi and 5G. So we don't know if it's going to be a stutter-free stream, but we will try. We will try. Guys, welcome back to the show. It's Thursday. It's 1 o'clock or just after, and we've got an hour or so of all football world transfer updates, news, views, and clues. I hope you're all happy and healthy and can do us the favours that you always do, which is, of course, to smash the like button. Like your life depends on it. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Drop the comments thick and fast. Let us know how you're feeling about the certain topics. And if you're new here, then please do as well. Let us know where you're from and who you support. Appreciate all of the support for the channel. It's been sensational. And guys, last thing is if you are interested in watching this on Apple Pods or Spotify, then the links are in the description. And please find the time to give us a little cheeky 5-star rating or review if you get the urge. Johnny, mate, on location up in rainy Glasgow. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm in Loch Lomond at the moment, and I thought I was in darkest Peru because honestly, maybe in the middle of the jungle because it was like a wind up. Wind up. I couldn't even get 5G. I've probably back down to 2G. It hasn't come up here yet, up in this neck of the woods. Yeah, the hotel Wi-Fi went down, the 5G went down, but hopefully I'm here now. The weather, I swear to you, I arrived here, Sean. The weather was absolutely glorious, sunshine. Half an hour later, it's like coming down sideways, mate. Freezing cold, temperatures dropped. So I'm ready for golf.
Yeah. It'd be a tough game out there today, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be a tough game out there today, coming down sideways. But yeah, guys, thanks for the chat. It was me that kept you waiting today. It's normally Sean, but today it was me. Today it was me. I own up. It's all my fault.
I don't think it's normally me anyway. I think it's a hybrid effort, you know.
The late Sean Butler. What was I going to say, guys? Yeah, I mean, look, for Spurs fans, just quickly off the bat. The news, more good news for Spurs fans. We might not be able to sign anyone like Newcastle, but we seem to be dropping like flies. James Maddison out probably for the rest of the season, if not more. And so will Spurs spend the money? We're seeing Spurs won't even replace, according to Alistair Gold, we won't even replace Sonny. I mean, can this really be true? I mean, we didn't replace Kane's wages. We've not replaced Sonny's wages. The wages are going down. Income's going up. Wages are going down. Players are injured. Players are leaving.
When did he say that we're not replacing Sonny?
Apparently, according to Alistair Gold.
Is that a recent update?
Yeah. Not looking to replace Sonny as he really likes Wilson Odobert. I'm not saying I don't like Wilson Odobert, but that's not the news.
Is that from today?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just throwing it in there. But there are other clubs in the Football League, in the Premier League. And there are ones doing serious business and there are ones struggling to do any business. Even the ones that we thought were quiet, Sean, like Aston Villa. They're getting proper deals over the line. They've just got one, and they're linked to others. So, where should we start today? Where do you want to? I'm
going to start with Tottenham, mate. Whilst we're on Tottenham, so typical Sean, right? He puts out his morning video talking about what's in the news, views, and clues, and then as soon as he presses the upload button, and it's too late to turn back and edit, a couple of stories drop that Tottenham are interested and have made a bid. It was rejected apparently for Nico Paz of Como fame. Plays in the 10, but can also has played as a centre forward. He's 20 years old. He's 6'1". He is Argentinian, Spanish player, responsible for all of Como's success, a lot of it. If there's any truth to it, I've just looked up Nico Paz transfer rumours, and it's true, or is this what the rumours are out there, that Tottenham put in a bid and it was rejected, but they might come back for a second bid. I'd love this kid. I would love this kid. He is
doing that one, Sean.
Sorry?
Who do you think's involved in that one?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, our boy Fabio Paratici. About time. Where you been, Dom? Where you been, mate? We've been waiting for you. You know. But listen, it's been rejected, and then I'm just looking up Nico Paz transfer news. Apparently, they're also looking to offer him to Real Madrid as well. So that's the caliber of player we're talking about here.
Yeah, Ben Kaufman in the chat. Yeah, no more kids. I get it, but Nico Paz, I'm not going to put in that framework because he's actually playing. He's playing regularly. He's a top player. He's the conductor for Como. It's as simple as that. He's Argentinian. Is he not Argentinian?
Yeah,
he said
Argentinian Italian. Yeah.
Argentinian Italian, right? Okay.
Yeah, but he's already played 3 games for Argentina. He's a left-footed 10 as well, mate, which opens up a whole different kettle of fish with regards to the ability to spray the play.
How do you keep Cuti Romero, mate? Sign another Argentinian, right? Okay. How do you get Nico Paz? Get Cuti Romero to give him a call. Hello, it's your captain speaking. We will be cruising. Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd be very excited about that signing. I know the doomsayers will straight away say another kid, but 6'1", that's the type of player that Thomas Frank likes. He likes a bruiser, he likes aggression, and he likes tall. And I think we'll be pumping up our height.
I didn't know that. Real Madrid have got a 12. Is that right? Is it? Why we've got Real Madrid have got a £12 million buyback clause, and they didn't want him. Really? Right.
Yeah,
that's odd. If that's the case, because you just buy him for 12 and you'd sell him for 70. If they don't fancy the player, you just take him back because he's worth 4 times.
Yeah. The thing is, look, they haven't even got the room. They haven't got the room, Real Madrid. Anyway,
but you wouldn't have to register him. You literally buy him and then sell him on to someone else, wouldn't you? If that's true, that doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, well, listen, I understand the objection to it, but let's see what happens. At least it's a quality player. If I'm going to be, I would rather sign him than Harvey Elliott, if I'm brutally honest. Sean?
Yeah, look, it's interesting. On last night's fan call-in show I did, there was a guy called Cratch who came on. He's been in my chat for 3 years. First time I met him. He's very, very knowledgeable on football. He's always bringing in insightful things. He's from Czech Republic, and he follows a lot of like the sort of teams out in that Central Eastern European sort of space. And I said to him, who would be your number one choice if you had 100 million quid, like not to spend on one player, but just like if there was no limit, essentially, who would be your first choice? And he said, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I think Harvey Elliott would be a monster. And he kind of went through the reasons why. And I was like, that's actually interesting. I still don't want Harvey Elliott. Like, he doesn't excite me. But maybe it's because his name's Harvey Elliott and not because it's like Nico Paz. I don't know. There's something I get caught up in the sexiness of foreign sounding names. Nico Paz, look, it's a cracking player. I'm a little bit bemused by that comment though about the £12 million buyback thing. If that's legit, there we go. He's come back in. I believe they inserted a buyback clause and it lasts for 4 years. And goes up every year, but I might be wrong. Okay.
Well, they only played. Look, the thing is, they paid 6 million for him, right, Como? So you can understand why, there might be another clause in there which says they get a percentage of the sell-on, right? So I don't see there's any problem with that. If he's 6 million, he's valued about 35-40 million euros. So, we're not talking about a crap player. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Thanks, Gary, for the tip. My Portsmouth, my club.
Was that? Oh yeah. My club. As Deji says, yeah.
Yeah, 35 million.
Elliotini, Benny boy. That's exactly right, mate. If his name was Harvinho Elliotini, I'd probably be a little bit more interested. Maybe that's just a weird little bias I have. I don't know. I just don't really fancy Harvey Elliott. I think Tottenham can go in a better direction, personally. I've mentioned my top picks 1,000 times.
He's going to my other club, mate. Don't interfere. Don't disrespect. He's going to RB Leipzig, mate. That's where he's
By the way, because now we're talking about second teams, let's just, I'm going to drop it early because let's move on from Tottenham. I'm sure we'll come back to Tottenham, but let's just go there.
It's that time once again. It's time to check in. We're going round the world to all our second teams.
Big news, mate. Big news in our second teams. Birmingham City have just signed their 9th summer signing as striker Marvin Duksha. Checks in from Werder Bremen. Cheap signing, mate. 31-year-old player, £1.75 million. I think it's €2.5 million. But that's the sort of signing that gets you into the top spots, into the playoffs, mate. Birmingham City, my club, are doing bits. I've already ordered the DH Gate number, and I'm excited about Birmingham's chances this year. Whilst you've got to handle the yang that is Tour and spit on that
Davis. Davis is a top manager, right? We always thought he would do well. He did fantastic at Birmingham last year, getting them promoted. Absolutely smashed it. A bit harder now, but Brady's in. They want to go straight back up, and I think they're going to do it. It's sleeping giant, Birmingham. I think they've got a great project on their hands there. You get Birmingham, I get Portsmouth.
You get Yang, mate. The Korean birds are following you down to Portsmouth, mate. They're not leaving you. They're not leaving Johnny.
I'm going to get a Yang on the back. I'm actually off to Japan and Korea in March. So hopefully he's still there. And I'll be wearing my Portsmouth shirt with pride in Korea.
Yeah, mate. You want to get yourself a PSG with what's his name?
PSG. They're not my team, mate. I'm Mets.
Oh, of course you are. Sorry. Who's the guy? Is it Yang In Lee? Is that his name? Who plays for PSG?
No interest. I got no interest. Right. What about you? Tell me about Cremonese, please.
So Cremonese. Here we go. Cremonese. According to Tutto Mercato, this is your club. Cremonese has expressed an interest in Rafael Koffler, a young player born in 2005, but he is thought to be one of the up and coming talents. Is Koffler? He's part of the Italy under-21 national team. Here's the story. Paolo Bravo, the sporting director of Sud Tirol, has reportedly set Koffler's base price at €3 million. Sudatrol.
Big money for us, Sean. That's a big signing for us. $3 million for Cremonese.
I've heard of this guy, Rafael Koffler, mate. I've heard of him. Like he's apparently a really good player. So he's going to be. He's one of these like future. He
used to be with Dire Straits.
Yeah, 100%. Do you even know who the name of your manager is, mate?
No, not yet. But I haven't done a deep dive, Sean. Come on. I haven't done a deep dive yet. Actually, I think I did. Actually. Tell a lie. I'm sure I did a Cremonese. I did indeed do a deep dive. I know the goalkeepers, the defenders. Shall I even tell you the coaching staff? Fabio Peccia, Antonio.
I've got transfer market open.
No, I haven't. Look, it's notes, mate. Notes.
Oh, is it? Oh, fair enough.
Proper research. Cremonese research.
Love that.
I'll tell you who our sporting director is. I bet you don't know your sporting director, Simeone Giacchetta. Huh? How about our chief scout? Do you know your chief?
You're putting me to shame, mate. I don't even know what Elche's...
Batista, man.
I don't even know where Elche play football. I don't even know where Elche is on the map, my man. But I do have to tell you what, just quickly, I do have a little bit of transfer news as well.
What?
So we got. I think I brought to your attention that Victor Chust has set to return to La Liga after spending a season in the Segunda Division with Cadiz. He's coming back to Elche, but with him, alongside that, Ezequiel Zaballos is also a Spanish, Argentinian winger. 23-year-old winger who is currently of interest to Elche. We're doing bits, mate. Rodrigo Mendoza, by the way, is on his way out. He's been targeted by Cesc Fabregas's Como team. And so
hang on.
It's very, very fascinating what's going on down at Elche. Lots going on.
Bad breaking news, Sean. I'm really upset about this one. Turkish side, and always from Foxy. Turkish side, Istanbul, Başakşehir, are now in for some Fanny. I can't believe I had Fanny down to be coming, and now Fanny's leaving.
Yeah, we always hope that Fanny is coming.
Hang on, at yesterday's show we had Fanny, we had Brest because that was the the fans' team. And what else did we have? Fanny, Brest, and some other team.
One of the English. It was the English team that the fans got.
No, it was Fanny shit. We had.
Who did the audience get?
It wasn't a team. It was all in one show. We had Fanny, Brest.
Yeah, the championship team. Who was the championship team that the audience got?
No. That's
if you were watching yesterday, guys, what team did you guys pick up in the championship?
That wasn't what I was talking. That wasn't what I was talking about.
No, there was. It's something Titty. Something. Birmingham Titty. That was it. Birmingham Titty.
Yeah, Birmingham Titty. Right. So let's have a look at the proper transfer news now. Hard to believe Arsenal were even thinking about Nicholas Jackson. Here's one for you.
Bristol Titty. Sorry, Bristol Titty.
That's
there you go. Yeah.
Bristol Titty.
No wonder our CPM was so low yesterday.
Listen to this one, right? It's a typical name. You're going to get this straight away. Fulham are interested in signing Kevin. Where do you think Kevin is from?
New York? Or Chicago?
No. It's a typical name from this country. You'll get it straight
Brazil,
away.
Isn't it? He's Brazilian, isn't he?
Brazil. Yeah.
It's
like Dave, isn't it? Fulham have had a 30 million plus add-ons. Brazilian winger Kevin rejected by Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar are pushing for more whilst being aware that there are other clubs interested, such as Napoli. Can you tell me a player Napoli aren't interested in at the moment?
Yeah,
they're the Italian version of Chelsea at the moment. Everyone's coming in.
Chelsea buy most of theirs. Napoli just express an interest.
Here's one is a bit of a shock, Sean. Great player. I thought it'd all gone quiet on that. Liverpool are linked to Bradley Barcola.
Ooh. He doesn't want to leave PSG, but if Liverpool pick up the phone, most people go.
Well, I think there's more chance of him going to Liverpool than he would go if he went anywhere else, don't you think?
So if Bradley Barcola was to go to Liverpool, does that mean that Rodrigo might be of interest to PSG? Oh, we've lost him. He's gone. He's gone. This one isn't because of an issue, but it's definitely because of here he is. Let's do the little bit.
Poof, and he's gone.
I think he's gone. It's going to be an interesting show with Johnny. I think he's going to be dropping in and out. I'm going to take over the stream for a little while. Let's talk about the Jack Grealish story, guys. So Jack Grealish yesterday, if you remember, David Ornstein, who doesn't usually get involved in any of the sort of the speculation. He comes in late, doesn't he? Usually with a tap in, but he's often the first one to be breaking the news. He said that Everton were in discussions with Jack Grealish. Well, this morning, it looks like Grealish, apparently, according to all reports, has suddenly become of major interest to Newcastle and to Tottenham Hotspur as well. He's back. Welcome back.
Oh my God, this is shocking. Honestly, I've never known such bad Wi-Fi. It's the worst Wi-Fi I've ever experienced. Wi-Fi from McDonald's. I think Wi-Fi from McDonald's would be an understatement, to be honest with you.
We're just talking about Jack Grealish, mate. So I didn't know how long you were gone for, so I just moved on with the story. Jack Grealish, yesterday, David Ornstein brings out the news that Everton are close. Apparently today, they're still trying to encourage Manchester City to finalise the loan deal. Manchester City are hopeful of doing something else, and Newcastle and Tottenham are circling, but wouldn't any team be mad to take this guy on a full-time deal right now? That everyone's going to want him, like, he's not going to want to cut his wages in half. No one's going to pay him 300 grand. And so the likely outcome is a loan move, right, Johnny? Oh, he's gone again.
Manchester City.
He's back. He's there. He is. Sorry.
No, sorry. Manchester City have stated that they're not going to let him go unless he cough up £300,000. 300 grand a week in his wages, and I just can't see them paying that money. If you want my honest opinion, no chance. It's 300 grand a week. They want the full wages paid plus the loan fee.
Yeah,
I mean, how much is that?
Well, 300 grand a week is 15 million quid a year, so no chance.
Yeah, no, plus the loan fee.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, whatever the fee will be, if it's 5 million quid, just £20 million transfer, like Manchester City will end up letting him go for what a club might do. A club might pay like £10 million loan fee so that they don't have to break their wage structure and then pay the guy and then pay 50% of the wages. But there's no chance that they get all of the wages covered. And also, you're right, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I can't believe the how bad the Wi-Fi is. Considering this, well, I won't tell you exactly where I am, but it should be better than this. It's like wind up. The Premier Inn has better Wi-Fi.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, listen, mate, we'll try it. We'll crack on. This is another story, mate, for us. So, have you seen this one? And it's another one. So, when I said about the Nico Paz story, on top of that, you've got this other story that's just dropped as well. The Spurs are interested in Manchester City's Savinho, ex-Girona player. Will be crazy good signing, according to Alistair McAllister. Is that your actual name?
Well, I mean, you say Girona.
In Scotland.
Ali McAllister. Listen, you say Girona. It's not. It's all the same thing. Girona, yeah. Manchester City. Richard Rios is on his way to Girona as we speak from Manchester City. They signed him from what you call it, from Palmeiras to Manchester City, and now he's gone out. Richard is laughing at Savinho. Not sure why.
He thinks it's a ludicrous suggestion, but I think this is Richard S. Because it's weird because on Spurs Talk Show, you don't get to see the names of the people; you get to see their handles, and for some reason on here it shows the name. So I think this is Rich S. And I think Rich S. As much as I like the guy, I do very much so. I appreciate his support. He definitely leans into the kind of the saga mindset, which is like, show ambition, but when ambition is apparently on display, it's ludicrous.
Listen, we're signing someone. Look, we've lost Son. Okay, we've lost Maddison. Kulu's out for weeks. Don't know when Solanke's going to be able to jump up and down again. We're not in the best stead. Our defense might be all right, but our attack is nowhere near. Richard Rios went to Girona, mate, isn't it? Victor Rice. Oh, sorry. Yes, Foxy. Victor Rice. Yeah, sorry, you're right. He went to Girona yesterday.
Signed by Man City, but went to Girona on loan. Yeah, and we'll come back in a year's time.
Yeah. So, hang on. What did you say? Sorry, I would go back because I missed it. What happened with Bradley Barcola? Because it's been reported now in two different places.
I was just saying that Bradley Barcola was initially, he was like Tottenham were linked with him, obviously spuriously, but there was no. When I looked into the story, he was like, "No, I'm not leaving," and PSG don't want to sell him. But now, if Liverpool pick up the phone, £87 million deal. That's on the Evening Standard. For if they can't get Alex Isak in the 9, they'll get Bradley Barcola. I think of Bradley Barcola as someone who's incredibly versatile. He can do the 9, but he also hangs off the left-hand side. And so if that was to happen...
Do you really think that, Sean? Because what we were led to believe that Liverpool were looking at Isak and Rodrigo.
Right.
So,
yeah, exactly.
If they can't get Rodrigo and they can get Isak, why wouldn't they go for Isak and Barcola?
Well, I'm just saying the story in the Evening Standard is if they fail with Isak, as in like if Liverpool say no, but at the same time, he's being sidelined from the training ground, right? He's been told to train alone. So like when that's happening, you know that the guy's like, I'm being disruptive or whatever else. And so you know that either Newcastle are going to have to pay him some staggering amount of money to keep him, like to shut him up and keep him happy, and then put some release clause in.
They've already offered it to him. They've already offered him nearly £300,000 a week. They've offered him nearly £300,000 a week. Yeah.
Fucking hell. Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, but my point here is if Liverpool are looking at Isak and Rodrigo after they've sold their assets, then why can't they go for Bradley Barcola and Isak?
Well, I think of Bradley Barcola more as a left winger. I think of him as left winger, but he can play on the right. He can play in the 9. Isak obviously is a 9.
Exactly. So they can have both.
They could have both, and then it'd just be like they're just buying. I mean, good luck to them. Like, you can't call Liverpool a sugar daddy. That's not how they operate. They've just saved up their piggy bank is obviously overflowing, and they're picking the right time to do all of their business. But if they end up with, let's just call a spade here. If Nunes ends up going to Saudi, which again today it looks like that's going to happen, and they get 50 million quid for him, they've sold Luis Diaz for like 70 million quid, wasn't it, Johnny?
Yeah.
So that's
72.
100. If they sell Harvey Elliott for 40, that's 160 million pound, right? And if that money goes and buys
Darwin Nunes,
so Nunes, Diaz, and Harvey Elliott, they're probably going to get some compensation for what happened to Diogo Jota, right?
Kwanzaa.
Yeah, so Kwanzaa's money probably goes to pay for Frimpong or for Kirkes, whatever else. Forget about the bottom end, but at the top end of the pitch, if they sell Elliott,
all adds up. There's Tyler Morton as well. Tyler Morton's just gone for 15 million.
Yeah, so like people who say, oh, they're spending end up spending 400 million pound. They won't. But at the top end of the pitch, if they're selling Harvey Elliott for 40, if they're selling Diaz for 70, that's 110. If they sell Nunes for 50, that's 160 million pound. That's probably enough to get. And then on top of that, they'll get some sort of compensation for Diogo Jota from an insurance or whatever. Then those four exits probably pay for Bradley Barcola or Rodrigo, whichever one they pick, about the same amount of money, and for Alex Isak. So you might lose 4, but you get 2, and then on top of that, you've got Ekitike. So then you'd have a front line. I mean, just think about this for a second. Florian Wirtz in the 10, Mo Salah in the 9, Bradley Barcola or Rodrigo off the left, Isak in the 9, right? And then Ekitike that's waiting to come off the bench alongside players like Cody Gakpo and fucking Gravenberch in the mid. Like, what are we doing here, mate? It's going to be fucking impossible. Imagine if you're there's no chance anyone but Liverpool win the league. It's insane.
No, listen, look, the only thing is they ain't got no defence right now. So let's quickly move on. One of the players they really wanted, we talked about this guy for weeks on end, Zabani, the Ukrainian from Bournemouth, centre-back. It looks like he's back on, Sean. They bid 63 million euros for him. Bournemouth turned it down. They've now coming back with 63 million plus guaranteed plus add-ons. So it could work out at 75 million euros for Zabani, which leaves Liverpool with only Mark Gahey, really, as any viable.
No, there's other options as well. And just quickly, not to get off the topic here, like who? Like they could go and get Usman Diamandi, who can come in and be a succession planner, right? He can come in and be a rotation.
They need it now because
you bring him in now to be like you still keep.
They've got injuries. They've got injuries. They don't.
The guy who wants to go to Real Madrid. What's his name?
Konate,
right? So you keep him obviously, and then you know that next year he's going to go on a free, but you've got Diamandi to step in and he'd be there ready to go. Or you could go to one of the teams in Italy. You could go and get if you don't mind having someone that's younger that. You could, if you want to go and get someone like him, fuck Bastoni. You could go and get Castello Lucaba. You could go and get Piero Hincapié and trigger the clause. Or you could go younger and go and get Scalvini, Leone, Lukumi. There's loads of players out there that are up and coming. It depends if Liverpool need a player that's going to play 38 games in the Premier League right now, or if they're going to keep Konate and they can't capture Gahey. I wouldn't be surprised, mate, if they rolled the dice and then went and got Gahey in January for like 40 million quid.
Yeah, but you can't, right? So right now, they play with Endo and Robertson at centre back in the last game, right? Because Virgil van Dijk wasn't great. Konate, Gomez is injured again, and Konate. You can't have those three. You cannot be starting Premier League and the Champions League season with those three only at centre back. It's a massive flaw in your system right now. It's glaring miss. I'm amazed they sold Konsa to Bayer Leverkusen without having the backup there and then ready to go. It is a bit of a surprise because they've been so organised with everything else. It's a bit like Man United, looking fantastic now up front.
They might get Araujo from Barcelona, Johnny.
Yeah, maybe. They need to listen. They need to do some business at the back. Manchester United need a new goalkeeper and probably another centre back. And Liverpool definitely need another centre back. It's the only glaring miss.
What side do they need it? Do they need a backup right side or a left side?
One of each, mate.
One of each. Okay, so they could go. Maybe they could go and get Benjamin Pavard out of Inter. Right,
Sam. Spurs need everything, mate. Sam. Spurs need everything. But we're just talking about. We're just spreading in here.
They might go and get Gonzalo Inacio from Sporting. He's always a player that's linked with everyone every year, but that Varandas is a nightmare to deal with. They could possibly go and get, as I said, Scalvini. I don't know if Pau Torres would leave Villa. Villa need money potentially. Edmund Tapsoba is another option they could go and get.
Again, Tapsoba. Yeah, I don't know. I think some of these are yesterday's heroes. Some of them. You know, Tapsoba was up there, you know, the player to have. Guys, if you're in the chat right now and you haven't hit there's over 600 of you in the chat today and only 120 likes. And if you're here for the first time,
guys. He said disgrace. He said disgrace, guys. He said disgrace. We could be at 350 likes. Come on, 60% ratio. Smash the granny.
If you're here for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Tell us who you support and where you're from, and hit the notification bell because you never know when we're going to go from 9 in the morning till 9 at night. You never know when we're going to go, depending on what time's available. What else have you got there, Sean?
Oh, lots, mate. There's lots of transfer news.
Do you think that PSG deal is going to get done, isn't it? So
it's so typical. Like, as soon as there's a story that comes out that says, "Oh, it's suddenly there's more pessimism than there is optimism," you know it's about to drop. You just know it's about to drop any second now, and today you wake up and it does.
So let's just quickly stay with Bournemouth for 2 seconds, right? So Zabani goes 65, 70 million euros. Huijsen's gone for £50 million. Kirkes is gone for 40 million. All they bought in is Trossard. That's it. They need 2 centre-backs right now, and they haven't bought anyone, and the season starts in 10 days. Are they in the mud right now?
Yeah, they are.
They are. They are. They're all right from midfield. I don't think they're. I don't worry about their midfield.
I mean, name me any Premier League team that's completed their business apart from Manchester City, who are now succession planning.
I understand that, but you've just sold off 3 of your. I mean, you've sold off 3 of your defence. It's not like Bournemouth didn't concede goals.
All 4. They've sold Aaron Hickey as well.
Aaron Hickey. Oh, and Max Aarons. They sold 5.
Sorry, not Aaron Hickey. Sorry, you're right. Sorry, not Aaron Hickey. Max Aarons. Sorry, I was confused those 2. Max Aarons, Zabani, Huijsen, and Kirkes, and all they've replaced is Trafia. And then
Soler's a good player. The Soler's a good player, but they need another. They need at least. I think they need at least 2 players. At least 2. Trossard's going to be a really good player. I've got no problem about that. Sam. Liverpool net spend 137.4 million. If they do the other sales, that's an interesting one there from Vindaloo. Thanks for that. They still got 180 million. Great business from Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, listen, you've got to say they've conducted and organised their business absolutely fantastic. They hardly spent anything last year.
Yeah, just they're a forward plan, aren't they?
Yeah, and Mamashvili. So. You've got to say, I think they'll do Isak. And let's be honest, if they sign Barcola as well, they're going to take some stopping. They really are going to take some stopping.
I hear you about the centre-backs, mate, but and not to get off it, but just there's a lot of centre-backs out there that you could possibly go and convince the guy who went to Al Nassr, Mohamed Simakan. He used to be a cracking player. He's only 25, went across to Saudi to pick up the bar.
And he's got it. Sure.
No, I'm saying
Yeah, but
I
Sean,
hear you.
this is Liverpool,
I
mate.
hear you on that. But I'm just saying, like, if Liverpool need, they might even get a loan deal or something. If what they need, I think they'll end up with Castello Luqueba from Leipzig, from your club. I'm selling another one of your players. But they could go and get Nico Schlotterbeck. What I mean, everyone forgot about Schlotterbeck, right? These are absolute
No, I
monster.
know. But you're not going to look. You're not buying Barcola, Florian Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike, and putting two Bob at the back. You're
Nico
not putting
Schlotterbeck is not
yesterday's hero.
too Bob. Schlotterbeck's
No,
a
I'm
ball
talking
baller.
about yesterday's. I'm just saying he has a specific style of play, and all I'm saying is I'm surprised they've got to this. If Mark Gahey, look, Newcastle still think they got a chance of signing Mark Gahey. Personally, the only reason Mark Gahey is umming and ahhing probably about leaving Crystal Palace is because at the end of the year he can sign a free contract and a huge signing on fee. And I think the only way that Liverpool will entice Mark Gahey to go there is a huge wage and a signing on fee to negate what he would get if he signed on a free come January. I think they'll be able to sign with Parish. Parish wants about 45, 50 million for Mark Gahey with 1 year left on his contract. Whether or not they'll pay
let's talk about Palace right now, man. It's a nice little segue. So we know that Parish is a bit of a hard one to deal with, right? He's not an easy guy to deal with. He turned down allegedly a £70 million bid from Gahey for Gahey from Tottenham in January. He'd already rejected Newcastle at Christmas time, allegedly. So he doesn't want to come to Newcastle. He doesn't want to go to Tottenham. He wants to go either on a free transfer or maybe this year. But either way, he only sees himself going to a top club. So within the realms of the top clubs, Manchester City don't need him. They've already rebuilt they've already gone big on their centre-backs in January and the last season for the next iteration of City. Players like that geezer, that guy out of the Japanese guy, wherever he's from. No, he's from like Uzbekistan, wherever his name is. So it's not going to be them. Arsenal are probably fixed, right? Arsenal are good at the back. Chelsea, I think you can make the argument that Chelsea needs someone else in there.
Can I just Levi Colwell has just been injured in training. Now he played 42 games for Chelsea last year. He was a mainstay of the team, and he got injured in training. I'm not knowing the severity of the injury, but there is rumours that Chelsea might, after the scan, need to go back into that transfer window. Might that then mean that because Liverpool have ummed and ahed and they've been so concentrating on the two strikers, that Chelsea nip in and sign Mark Gahey right under their noses, and then they're left
100%, mate. So we're bouncing around here, but because we're coming to Chelsea, I'm gonna absolutely do this. So the story is, you're absolutely spot on, by the way, about Chelsea maybe loitering. I don't think Chelsea's, but I know Chelsea apparently had the tightest defensive record last season. But I think that they are one injury away, and you just hit the nail on the head. If Colwell's gone down, who was a mainstay last year, he was never present, didn't get injured. Then when they get an injury, they look weak, right? At the moment, they have Wesley Fofana and they have Levi Colwell. Behind those two, they have Badiashile and they have Dizazi, disaster class, right? And Dizazi went to Villa, never really played because he's absolutely useless. I 100% concur with you, Johnny, that Chelsea need a centre-back. And if they get a centre-back that's a top draw, if they could go and convince Bastoni to leave Inter for monster money, then that would be an absolutely insane move for them. And then at that point, you have to put Chelsea where they belong, where they should be anyway, which is a potential title run. They look a better outfit in the Club World Cup than most others, more organised, more disciplined. They look like they were fresher than everybody else. So I think that Chelsea could do that. But at the same time, you have to also factor in here, I'm just getting a story up, Chelsea have opened talks with Manchester United over Alejandro Garnacho. United want at least £40 million, says Alex Crook and Ben Jacobs, but that Chelsea value Garnacho at £30 million and have left talks until late in the window, working under the impression his price will drop. Now, that is always the risk, isn't it? When you think that that you've got the player you've convinced the player to want to come to you, Johnny, and you think that the selling club is under pressure as time goes on, there's sort of diminishing returns in their value, then you might be able to get it for 30 million quid, but at the same time, someone else might step in and go, I'll give you the 35 or the 40 and get it done. Could that happen? You were making the point that could Liverpool have snoozed and lost on the Gahey story? I think it's a valuable insight, and I think it makes sense. At the same time, could Garnacho could they be a victim of the same thing there with Garnacho?
Garnacho, look, I don't know what Garnacho could be doing tomorrow or the day after, but all he seems to be mentioning is one club and one club only, Chelsea. They're obviously going to sign him. Representatives have obviously spoken to him, and he knows that they're coming. All I know is that just yesterday, I think it was yesterday, those 4 signings or that sales bought in Chelsea 100 million. They've got more players going out the door. All they need to do, if they want to sign a player, just sell some, right? That's all they keep doing. And I mean, I don't think in all my years watching football, I've never seen anything like what's going on at the moment at Chelsea. You know, injury, no problem. We just go out and we'll buy another player. Okay, we want him. Okay, let's get rid of those 2. And that's how cutting it is. And that's why I call them eBay FC, because it's just a trading company. That's what it feels like, a trading company.
I'd love to understand how it is. Like, when they make these payments, where is the money coming from? Like, I'm not saying like at the end of the year, the accounts all look correct or whatever. Like, maybe they don't, maybe they do, whatever. But like, how much cash do they have on their bank where they can just go, yeah, there's 40 million for Garnacho, there's 70 for João Pedro, 55. There's what, for money for whoever the next guy is, Liam Delap and yada yada yada. Like, their money, the money can't just be injected into the club and then taken back out again by a third party. So I just don't understand how they have the actual access to the liquidity when it all has to come from within the accounts when their revenue is the same as Tottenham's. It's very odd. Very fucking odd, Johnny.
Listen, whatever they're doing, they're getting away with it. And
of course they are. Yeah, 100% they are.
I just think, Chelsea are going to become the club it used to be Manchester City, but I think now it's becoming Chelsea, because at least Manchester City tried to do it and disguise it, what they were doing, in the form of, over-egged sponsorship deals. Chelsea are doing it. They say, well, we don't need a shirt sponsor. They were doing this without shirt sponsors.
Yeah.
They was getting money. They get money left, right, and centre. And there's still more players to come leave the club right now. I mean, Carney Chukwuemeka to Borussia Dortmund is now progressing quickly, with Chelsea ready to sanction a loan deal. They were looking at getting rid of him permanently, and they're still, whether they can get him out, they're still saying they want or are very interested in Fermin Lopez. I just don't know where they're storing them all. You know what? It's so crazy. I actually even forget who they signed at the start of the window or who they signed in January. And then they got the young Brazilian boy who's kind of come through, who wants to be a number 10. Who's 100%. The FA has no balls. They're not even controlling the Premier League. If the FA controlled the Premier League, maybe we would have more control of what's going on right now. Instead, what we're going to have is government intervention. And as we've seen, what the government intervention, they can't even run the country. So how are you going to get some guy or woman with absolutely no understanding of the mechanics of football and how it operates, telling football how to get his house in order? It's going to be farcical. But 100%,
especially if it's Labour.
Mark Cucurella, they're trying to do a new deal for him because Al Nassr said that they would love to sign him. There's no way he's going to Al Nassr. Not a chance at his age. Too young.
Maybe. Johnny, before we carry on, you got more Chelsea stories? You got more Chelsea stories? We'll do some super chats.
Yeah, let's do some super chats.
Okay, appreciate you guys. Awesome super chat train we've started here. I can see it. We've got the choo-choo train. It has commenced. It commenced a while ago. Choo-choo. Appreciate you, Dan the Bears Cave, with a super sticker. Thank you so much, my man. Pick me up in Byfleet, mate, and I'll be there. Art Barlow, big up to you, my man, as well. Super sticker. Thank you very much indeed. Choo-choo, let us know where we're picking you up from. Mohammed Abid has also put in, well, it's a super chat, but he hasn't said anything, so we're going to consider it a super sticker. Appreciate you, Mohammed Abid. Big up to you, my man. Ulrika Johnson, Ulrika, I hope you are loving life over in Australia. G&T's poured, bath running, and doing whatever it is that you do over there, Ulrika. I know you use saucy minks. We love that about you. Super Spurs TV. Blaine Devlin is also coming with a super sticker. Choo-choo to you, mate. We're going to Northern Ireland. Hey, nay, Brain K. Hi, nay, Brain K. The accents just come thick and fast on this show. They really do. No offense to anyone. Appreciate you, Blaine. Daniel Houston from deepest, darkest Peru, apparently. Big up to you, my man, with a super sticker as well. With the trains going everywhere. We need to get on some flights. And then Blaine's coming as well, Johnny, and he said a message to you personally. Just want to say I hope your son's wedding goes perfect, my man.
Thank you.
And many congrats to you. Big up, guys. Big up to you, Blaine. Little message back, Johnny.
Thank you, Blaine. Thank you, Blaine. Thank you for the message. And thanks for all of your messages. I've received quite a few. It's like touch and go at the moment. It's a beautiful setting here right out on Loch Lomond. Unfortunately, it's sort of it's so changeable. Honestly, 2 minutes ago, it was sun shining. Then the rain's coming down sideways. And, of course, when the rain comes down sideways, the signal goes. And when's
the actual wedding?
Sunday. I'm just getting warmed up, Sean. Warmed up. People start arriving tomorrow. Bit of golf Saturday morning.
Oh, nice. You're playing Loch Lomond, are you?
No, I'm playing. I'm trying to remember the name of the club. It's on Loch Lomond, overlooking Loch Lomond. It goes round it, but
Amazing.
It's all beautiful around here. It's
I've played
scenery.
It's a very difficult course to play.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful area, and if you haven't been before, I thoroughly recommend it.
Appreciate you, Blaine. Absolute legend, and also Cat Funt. Big up to you, my man. Appreciate you as well, buddy. Love it. Keep your photography coming. And he sent a super sticker in as well. Appreciate you all, guys. Let's crack on, Johnny. 750 people here, by the way, guys. Love to see it. We know we don't ask, we ask all the time. But
wow.
If you can smash the like button, we would be most appreciated. I don't know what the numbers are, but they should be at least about, by now, 350 or 400. So it'd be really cool if you guys could do that and hit the subscribe. And if you are watching and you're unsubscribed, then you see the subscriber mode only on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the sub, rub the sub, and it opens up. And then you can tell Johnny why he's wearing a woolly hat in the middle of summer. Because I'm curious. Johnny, what's going on there, by the way?
Because this is Scotland, mate. I came out and I was just like sunshine and my sunglasses on. I went outside to go. So the next day I had to go back inside. It was like blowing a gale, bloody freezing. This is my golf hat, mate. This is my golf hat. Hey, listen, Nottingham Forest not back. Things you like to see. I think Nottingham Forest have become the arch villains, not just for Spurs fans, but I think the way he carried on with Crystal Palace, Marinakis, a bit of a bully. Brentford out the way for Mari Hutchinson.
Yeah.
And he'd say, look, don't worry about Brentford. We're Nottingham Forest. Move out the way. We're coming through. We're going to give you 35 million and we'll do the deal because that's in the buyout clause. No, Mr. Marinakis. The buyout clause has expired. Okay, you've missed the buyout clause. It was a relegation buyout clause. They bought him for 25. They had a 35 million buyout clause. That has expired. He's come in with that number and they've said thanks, but no thanks. What is that going to take, do you reckon? Do you reckon Marinakis is going to have to come in. Are we really going to? I mean, I really like the player. I'll be honest with you. I always have. I liked him when he left Chelsea and went to Ipswich. But are they really going to have to pay 45, 50 million for Amari Hutchinson? Is that what we've come down to now? Is it? I mean, is it out of hand now? Is the transfer market out of hand?
It feels that way. Tyler Dibling is another story, right? He's another player. I like Tyler Dibling. They priced him at 100 million quid in January, Johnny, and then now, according to all the noise out this morning, the race is heating up. Tottenham are also taking a look at him. Of course, that story would percolate, but Everton want him as well. There's a few teams, Nottingham Forest, another team that are looking at him, as are Aston Villa. I think is the fourth team I've seen. And they want I think Everton put a £25 million bid in and got rejected. What is the right price for a 19-year-old player that's done a little bit in a relegation? He's also been told to train separately, similar to the ESAT thing. He's obviously a guy that doesn't want to go down with the ship, and so he's being probably a little bit disruptive to try and force a move. Southampton will still want 50 million quid for the guy. If 55 million quid gets you João Pedro, does 50 million quid get you Tyler Dibling? What are we doing here?
Listen, for me, you're paying. If it was me, I'd be paying 25 million, and I'll give you 25-30% of the sell-on, and I'll give you some bonuses should we reach. I.e., if we get promoted, he starts banging in the goals, we'll give you a percentage of the sell-on. You can't be paying. I just think the market's just running away for itself. And tell me something. Do you think the people who moved first, not including Liverpool playing 140 for Florian Wirtz, but 120 million for Florian Wirtz, but do you think those that moved early have got the best deal? I think Chelsea have got the best deal. I don't want to mention them again, but 30 million for Liam Delap and 55 million for João Pedro. Right now, 85 million.
It wasn't even 30 million for Delap, was it? It was a release fee of 25 or so, 22
no,
plus
30 million. 30 million. It was 30 million. Yeah, but it is, listen, 85 million for two very competent strikers, I think is great value when you look at it now. And are the clubs who are now scurrying around now, trying to do the last bit of business, going to have to pay the price of the inflated prices that are being bandied around for all these players? Because some of them are just insane right now. Just like RB Leipzig used Ekitike's sale to Liverpool as the benchmark for Sesko. They said they won't accept a penny less. They say that he's better striker than Ekitike, therefore they're not going to accept a penny less. You know, you look at Vlahovic. Actually, Huddleswald has just mentioned Vlahovic is 20 million. And he's right. In 2025, that sum is almost a free transfer, Sean. It is, isn't it? If he can recover and find his form again. That's the risk. Reward.
There's something about him. There's something about that transfer. Like, it makes sense on so many levels, but there's just something about it that to me puts me off it. I don't know how to describe it. There's something about me that thinks that that he is not going to handle it in the Premier League, and that we're going to end up with another paperweight. Whoever gets him, unless you pick a very specific team that can play to his strengths and that the style of the system fits. In which case, I think you might. And look, Nottingham Forest had the opportunity, but they went that down to Igor Jesus instead. So I don't really like it. But you know what's weird is that I think I get excited about transfers or I'm more tolerant with the fan base, the Tottenham fan base, right? There's a lot of people in the fan base at Tottenham who, you know how I feel, man. I feel like there's just overreactions, constant negativity, constant presumptions of things, like show more ambition, and then when ambition is in the spotlight on players like Rodrigo, the same people that say show ambition then say don't be ludicrous, all these sorts of things. Yeah, I think that if Tottenham signed Vlahovic, I think that most of the fan base would be right behind it. But I think that it would be a really risky move. But yeah, I don't know why. But I just think it wouldn't, for me, it's not for me. Is it for you, Johnny? Are you on board the Vlahovic deal?
You know what? I tell you something. I know this is going to sound madness, but I think there's more chance of converting. I would have more faith in the guy who can't hit the goal from a barn, can't hit a barn door. Gomez, Darwin Núñez, than I would be Vlahovic. And when he was at Fiorentina, he was an absolute monster. I don't think he's got the hunger, Sean. Why isn't he?
Happens all the time.
It's not. It happens all the time. But where's the hunger to score a goal? You're at Juventus. You're getting supplied quality balls into the box, and you still can't do it. And I think it's application and desire. And we've seen it with so many footballers, not just in the Premier League, all around the place. But Vlahovic looks to me like a guy who could easily end up in Saudi, taking a whole load of money and doesn't really care about his career. He's earned the money. And there are others who have a love for football and playing the game regardless. And
just quickly, Johnny, I'm getting called out by JS saying, "Why is your opinion valid?" Well, any opinion is valid or invalid, depending whether you agree with them or not, for a start. But when your reasoning is, I do know why. I can tell you why, but it's just I've repeated it 1,000 times. I think the guy has potentially put his feet up, as Johnny said, right? Like he went at Fiorentina, he was a baller. He went to Juve and is massively underwhelmed for the money. He's getting paid 300 grand a week or 280 grand, whatever it is, some insane money. But I don't think he's proven it at the highest level in a league where he had already proven himself. And then you step across to the Premier League, and I think there's a different game there. I don't think Dusan Vlahovic gets the half a second more that he gets in the Serie A in the Premier League. And I think a guy like that needs every second he can get because he's not blessed with pace. He's not slow, but he's a slow thinker, in my opinion. And I think the Premier League doesn't afford the same luxury that you get in the Serie A. So I do know why, but I just didn't want to have to repeat myself again. But ultimately, it comes down to whether you have a gut instinct on a player. And my gut instinct says, and I could be wrong, but I don't think he's right for the Premier League, or at least a Premier League that plays a certain way, and Tottenham Hotspur play a certain way that I don't think will suit. So therefore, my instinct is saying no. But my point was that I think most Tottenham fans who usually lean negative to everything, that section of the Tottenham fan base, they will get on board that one because it comes with a sexy name of a player that used to be a big deal. Like you said, Johnny, earlier about some of those centre-backs that I mentioned, some of them are yesterday's news, and I think that Vlahovic is yesterday's news.
Yeah, I don't disagree. The fact that Juventus were actually even thinking of paying up his contract to get rid of him says enough to me. They can't even get behind him. They can't even see the light in the darkness of his form, and therefore for me, it's an absolute no. Let him go to Saudi Arabia. Why haven't Saudi Arabia come in with a big bid? Huh?
No one's coming for a big bid, mate. No one's coming for a big bid. And you know what? Here's what I want to ask you, right? You were talking about, it just triggered a thing. I never got to ask you this question earlier when we were talking about centre-backs. If you don't mind just pivoting back there for a minute with me, Johnny, for a thought experiment. Would you consider Gleison Bremer to be yesterday's news, or do you still think he has a lot of value? And if so, I think he's the one of the curious centre-backs. I'm not sure whether his style would fit. Again, it's a like styles make fights sort of thing. Liverpool looking for someone, Chelsea looking for someone. Does Bremer require a back three? If so, could Bournemouth convince him? If Liverpool can't move on, if Juve can't find a buyer for Dusan Vlahovic, could they find a buyer for Gleison Bremer? Then they can go and get a Leone, a Lukumi, a Scalvini, one of those three that's already proven it in the Premier League, but it's a young up-and-comer. They then raise the money that gets the Mawani deal over the line.
They've got no money.
But that's what I'm saying. By selling Bremer, they would raise the money, right? Oh, what a time for him to lose. Oh, he's back. They
haven't got the money, Sean.
Who?
They haven't got the money. Juventus, forget it.
That's what I'm saying. By selling Bremer, they could raise the money.
They're not, but this is the problem. When you've got players like Man United have found, but listen, Man United have found a way around everything, right? we were talking about cop blocks. We were talking about Anthony being a cop block and Rashford and all the others that are there, Jadon Sancho. But they're finding a way through it all. But Juventus are stuck. They couldn't even sign Jadon Sancho. They offered 8.6 million for the loan. And United weren't interested in that. Right,
no, that's the point I'm making. Juve don't have the money, Johnny. Right, Juve can't. Juve are being cop blocked by their financial problems, and they assumed that there'd be a buyer for Vlahovic. They'd get more money for Timothy Weah than they've got. Nico Gonzalez hasn't exactly been a flash in the pan. They don't want to sell. Is it Yildiz, Yildiz, whatever his name is? Right,
Douglas
that guy.
Luiz still hasn't gone. Douglas Luiz still hasn't gone.
Exactly. So on that basis, could they sell a Gleison Bremer to the Premier League and get money in, and then replace him with a player that's already proven it at a much younger age in the Serie A, like a Lukumi, a Leone, or a Scalvini, and then they can replace like for like, and then they can raise 50 million quid.
No, I don't think so. I just think Juventus are in trouble. Gleison Bremer, I mean, he's with CAA. And they got plenty of contacts in the Premier League. No one seems to be twerking for him at the moment. And
so he's yesterday's news then, possibly, yeah?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was a big fan of his, why is no one coming for Hincapié as a left centre-back? I mean, come on.
Erik ten Hag is saying no more. We can't sell any more of our fucking centre-backs. We've already sold them all.
I mean, listen, he's a standout left centre-back, Hincapié. Play left back, left centre back. You got the flexibility, great going forward, great in the air, good ball player. But I think, listen, we're gonna find out. But I think we're gonna see clubs paying a lot of money over the odds. Listen, I'm still very confident Spurs are signing players. I know the fan base aren't. I've said this to you, but I think we're quietly going about our business. I'd like Paz from Como. I know he's 20 years of age or 21 years of age, but he's a 6'1" Argentinian international who has a lot of talent and has got something about him. And as we know, he did very well for Como. And I think he's got the physicality to last in the Premier League. And I can see that's the type of player that Spurs could sign. Also, the boy from Barcelona that we spoke about the last 2 days. What was his name?
Mark Cardasso.
Casado, wasn't it? Casado?
Sorry. Yeah, Casado.
Yeah, Casado. Yeah, Casado. I think that's also one that's possible. Real Madrid it's quite funny. Real Madrid have done an about turn on Gonzalo Garcia, having not been sure whether to keep him or not with all the players they've got. Real Madrid are now in active talks over a new contract for Gonzalo Garcia. The striker's excellent form at the Club World Cup have helped convince Madrid, while he also wants to stay. A new deal should be done soon, and Garcia could land the legendary number 9 shirt at the Bernabeu. How things change, eh?
Mate,
when you're not sure, and then he goes to the Club World Cup and he looks like their best player.
Well, talking about Real Madrid, so apparently Endrick will not consider a loan move unless the club insists on it. We spoke about this yesterday. It's amazing, like how we talk about things, and then the next day the story's out there around loan deals and things. That's just one of like 100 examples I could point to. So Endrick may or may not be going on loan, probably not. But I wanted to ask you this one, mate. It's a fascinating one, right? So is it on the screen? Not yet. No. So this is from The Athletic, who we have to take seriously because they don't fuck around. Despite reports in France, Liverpool are not currently considering a move for PSG's Bradley Barcola. Pursuing someone like Barcola would block the pathway for 16-year-old Rio Ngumaha, or whatever. I was going to do an accent. I'm not going to. Rio Ngumaha. That's from The Athletic. Isn't that the same logic, though?
Right. Let me tell you something.
Isn't that the same logic, bro? Around why would you sign Ekitike, even though Ekitike's bid was paid for by the money apparently that was from Diego Jota's passing, if the logic is we're not gonna block the pathway for Rio, then can't you make that same assumption for the signing of someone like Rodrigo or someone else who Liverpool have been linked with for the last 3 or 4 days? Why is that logic applicable to Barcola but not applicable to anybody else? If this guy Nguma is so good, then
yeah, no, because I'll tell you why. Well, I'll tell you why. Because he's that good. He's that good. The guy's insane. The guy's an insane talent, and
Nguma.
He's very similar. Nguma.
Yeah, so I'm saying, sorry,
in fact, he's played.
Sorry, I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting how good he can be, but I'm saying if the story is like wide of the mark that they're not going to sign Bradley Barcola, who's a left winger, because they're going to block Nguma, then isn't that the same reason that they wouldn't be buying Rodrigo? They wouldn't be buying, any other left winger there because they're blocking Nguma. If Nguma's that good, then Bradley Barcola is just as likely or unlikely as anybody else to come in on big money.
No, I just think that he is a phenomenal talent. Listen, Arsenal have got a phenomenal talent that's coming through. The 15-year-old kid, I mean, he's not normal. He's just not normal. And I just think to myself,
Johnny, forget about him for a second. I'm asking about the logic of the story. The logic of the story is they're not going off the Barcola because that excellent player will block, however you say his name, Gumawa.
But because they think he can play as a 17-year-old kid.
Right, but so therefore, I hear you, but therefore isn't the same logic applicable to why they probably won't therefore go after Rodrigo? Because if what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If Rodrigo's a left winger, if Bradley Barcola's a left winger, then they shouldn't. If this kid is that good, then
Rodrigo's not going. Rodrigo said he's staying. Rodrigo's now, having said that, he can't cope there because he's playing third fiddle to Mbappe and Vinicius Junior, and he's getting outshone. As that's up to him. That's up to him. But listen, we got to take the story.
So Liverpool aren't going to go for a left winger then,
if they believe that Nguma is going to be playing at 17. He's only 16 years of age at the moment. I don't know when he's 17, but I think he's played 2 or 3 games. And I saw some interviews with some of the Liverpool players, and the guys just say he's an insane talent.
Right. If Liverpool aren't going for a left winger, and Arsenal have already got 3 left wingers in mind, then surely Tottenham should be. I always bring it back to Tottenham. Sorry, everyone that's not a Tottenham fan. Surely Tottenham can find the budget. And any stories regarding Tottenham not being interested because Wilson Odebear's the boy.
He ain't leaving PSG. Mate, come on. Don't be silly. Like, it's ridiculous, Sean. No one's coming. Barcola would leave.
I'm not talking about Barcola. Any of the players that Tottenham are linked with that are currently also of the same mindset of Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah, no,
Arsenal can only buy one of them. If the Liverpool mindset is let's not buy another established world-class left winger because we've got this 16-year-old monster talent, then chalk them off the list. And then if Arsenal were looking at Rodrigo and Eze, for example, they only need one of them. So therefore, why can't Tottenham go and get the other? Even playing pecking order politics.
No, hang on a second. First of all, Rodrigo ain't going anywhere. He stated so. He's going to stay, right? So that leaves Eze, right? And Arsenal will sign a left-sided player as soon as they sell Trossard, right? They will sign another left-sided player, right? Which right now, the way things are going, is more likely to be Eze than anywhere else. So they're going to be signing Barcola. He's not leaving PSG to come to Spurs. Rodrigo isn't leaving Real Madrid. And if he does, he ain't coming to Spurs.
Okay, how about Raphael? All I'm saying is if Liverpool... My point is, Not about specific names. My point, Johnny,
Right, who would
is
you
that
sign?
if Liverpool are ruling themselves out of another left winger signing because they have this monster superstar 16-year-old, then that's one less bigger fish.
So who are you signing? Rafael Leao's.
Rafael Leao?
Hang on a minute. Come on. You and I both spoke about Rafael Leao, and we both said, right, he's here today, he's gone tomorrow. He's here today, he's gone tomorrow. That's not what you want. Well, 80,
I'm not
90
saying it doesn't matter what we think. I'm just saying if Liverpool have ruled themselves out,
So give me a
why
player.
the fuck have Tottenham ruled themselves out as well?
Well, who
Of a
have
left
you know
winger
they have
target.
picked him
I don't
out?
care whoever the name is. The name is irrelevant. Whoever the name is, it's irrelevant. I'm just saying if Liverpool have ruled themselves out, then in terms of Premier League, Chelsea sure as fuck don't need a left winger if they're going to get Garnacho. Then Tottenham are Tottenham honestly betting the house on Wilson Odegaard and Matisse Tell?
Well, I don't know. You'll have to ask Thomas Frank.
I'm asking
let's
you,
be
Johnny.
honest. Well, I'm just saying to you. You got to be realistic, Sean. We're not signing Rafa Leao. We're not going to be signing Rodrigo, and we're not signing Bradley Barcola. So the only one that's even semi-realistic is Eberechi Eze. Right? That's it in a nutshell. Right? In my opinion, that's my opinion. Okay, that's the only one. I don't think any of the others. Are at all realistic. And I've got to tell you something. I would take Bradley Barcola over Rafael Leao any day of the week. Rafael Leao,
a thousand times over, mate.
I get it.
One, mate? Burnley finally coming to the party. They've already got Kyle Walker. They've signed a couple of players as well.
Roja, they've got.
Roja, they're getting as well. They're now looking to sign Christian Eriksen as a free agent. Is that a sensible option?
Yes, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong
at all, is there?
No, nothing wrong
Still
with that. I thought we'd go to Brentford, funny enough, but no. Yeah. Napoli. Another two players linked to Napoli. Who isn't? João Lu and Miguel Gutierrez are both keen to finalise transfers to Napoli as soon as possible. Negotiations are now at the final stages with Sevilla and Girona. Isn't it funny? Of all the players that they were linked with, all of them, like these two, weren't really on the list. It was like smokescreen. I suppose if you get linked to, like 6 or 7 players in each position, and you actually go for someone completely different, it's a great smokescreen. It's straight out.
This is what that made the logic that I've been putting into play on Spurs Talk Show is I'll bring to your attention every single day Rodrigo. I'll bring to your attention Garnacho. I'll bring to your attention Araujo. I'll bring to your attention whoever it is, PSG's Zabani, yada yada yada. The likelihood is, given what we know of Johan Lang, that it doesn't matter. Well, I'll talk about them all day long for fun, but actually the likely scenario is, Johnny, that none of those guys are the people that we're going to end up signing. Nobody, not Ben Jacobs, not Graham Bailey, none of the Football Insiders, the Court of Sides, the Sky Sports, none of them had spoken about Kudus before Ornstein did. And when Ornstein brought it to our attention, it was done within a couple of minutes. Same thing happened with, go back to last summer, Wilson Odegaard. This summer, going back to even Morgan Gibbs-White, it was nothing. There it was, then it's done. It didn't end up happening. And the same thing with Polina as well. We in the Tottenham fan base were talking about Polina as logical sense, but there wasn't that many links to Tottenham in the actual press until it was happening. So for all the names that Tottenham are linked with, you can pretty much just chalk them off the list. And like Napoli, it looks like Tottenham and Napoli use the same methodology here. They're linked to 100 players, but the ones that they're not linked with are the players that you end up getting.
Listen, Spurs will be signing players. Don't worry about it. It'll happen. And then the noise will die down. But, they can't be signing also-rans. So I just believe that the Don has been quietly beavering away to bring in a couple of deals. You can't be getting rid of Son and losing Maddison and getting to the Champions League and bringing in one player on loan and Kudus. Sorry, just not happening. It's just not happening. It's not realistic. It's not realistic at all.
So we'll round off in 2 minutes, Johnny. Daniel Hooson with a big super chat from the deepest, darkest Peru. He says, Loch Lomond is a bloody good whiskey. Beware the midges, Johnny. Beware the midges.
Yeah, apparently they're out at night. They're out at night. I need my midge spray. That's midge spray. Sorry, I didn't be careful how I say that.
We heard it fine. Listen, mate, I think I can tell from your from the background noise there that there's a demand for your attention or your time. So we'll round it off. Johnny, I think this is the last we're going to see of you. I'll do my best. I'm not sure if I can, guys, but I'll do my best to come and do this solo tomorrow. Do a show on the stream.
See if you can. See if you can, Sean.
Or maybe I'll bring in a substitute, Johnny.
Well, I don't know about that. Hang on, let's see. I'm sure there was one. Yeah, just about the Carlos Baleba. Brighton CEO Paul Barber said there's always going to be an interest in our players, but Manchester United have not been in touch with me. Speculation is speculation, and it says Carlo. There's no way they're letting him go. Not a chance. Not a chance. They're letting him go.
No, 100%. Johnny, I can tell you're being called away. So
no, mate, no, I'm a pariah. Listen, I've come up here. I'm as popular, right, as a pork sausage at a bar mitzvah right now.
I feel you, mate. I feel you. All right, buddy. Listen, we'll let you go, mate. Enjoy the wedding. Best of luck to you. Best luck to the family.
If I can get back, I will get back. And if I can do a short, I'll do a short. Get ready, guys, because no doubt, right, there'll be a bomber.
100%. If there's a bomber, I'll bring it to you here. If there's a bomber on Tottenham, you know where you can find me. Guys, for those of you who are watching, please do smash the like. Please do smash the subscribe. We're at 750 people been here pretty much the whole show. Insane numbers for a small channel. We appreciate you. We have a lot of fun. We went a little bit light on all of the video jingles and stuff today, but they'll be back. And there'll be more to come. Next time you'll see Johnny will be Tuesday, Johnny, is that right?
Maybe Monday. Maybe Monday. If I can get on before, certainly will do. Certainly will do, guys. And listen, thanks for all your messages. Really appreciative. Really appreciate them all. And I don't know. I just got a feeling bomber is coming. Bomber is coming.
Bombers inbound. Bombers are imminent. Guys, smash the like, subscribe, notification bell. On Spurs Talk Show, if you are a Tottenham fan, you can see the watch along for the Newcastle game. For the Bayern Munich game starting. That show will be starting in a couple of hours, or maybe in an hour's time. And then tonight, the Spurs 5. Johnny won't be there. It'll be the Spurs 4. Johnny's got more important things to do. Family always comes first. Guys, please also make sure you go over to the Apple Pods and the Spotify where you can check this stuff out. Links in the description, or just search Football Inc. Johnny, mate, best of luck with everything this weekend, and it's goodbye from me.
And I'd just like to say, hit the sub, guys. We just slowing down. We've gone over 4,000. We're up to 4,1 something or other. Where next stop is 4,500 on the Football Link train on the road to 5,000. If you're here for the first time and you haven't hit that sub button, because only about 40% of you have come in, do hit the sub button. We have hundreds coming in through every day. So please hit that. And thanks a lot. And it's goodbye from him.
Nice. Well done. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.